Okay, here's a nice view of, I finished the parts. I did the saxophone parts in headphones and muted the external speakers here so that it doesn't bleed through the microphone that's over here. And and it's the great thing about Logic, which is a program I dearly love. You can have your trumpets. I have flugels. I didn't use on that particular one, but trombones, saxophones, and then they can all be bussed to one fader, which is really good. So you have complete control over you know, how loud your trumpets are, how loud your bones are, etc. Then they have different mastering effects, and so it really works out. It's kind of fun to be able to add some reverb and kind of get a gist of what things are going to sound like once it's all done. And that's so helpful, because a lot of times you forget about, there's so many notes that you have to write when you're writing big band charts. You forget. There's accidentals that are missing, or ties or whatever, and I always go back. I know most people don't have the time to do it. I'm a nut about this, but I enjoy going back and playing through each of the parts and kind of double checking it. And it does help on, you know, if we play something on a gig and nobody's read it for the first time, which happens pretty much in my band all the time, make sure that all the parts are correct. So let me play this back for you, and you'll get a kick out of it. I think it's kind of fun. And there you go. So that's what it sounds like. So we've taken you from step one to putting the blues chord changes in the computer, then inventing a line that would be an ensemble line, a shout chorus line, and then voicing it out, starting with the bass trombone, and then moving on up, and then voicing it all out, and then putting all the parts on, and went through the rhythm section, the piano, bass, and drums. See what they enjoy looking at. And again, you have to emphasize, this is the way I do it. And there are so many different wonderful composers who do things, you know, way differently, and you know, have a whole different thought process. And that's the beauty of art, is that there's so many different ways of going about it. And one thing that does help, obviously, is if you become a good player, then the lines that you voice out are interesting lines, because if the line isn't any good, then the chart won't be any good. So the lines have to be very important. Although you can turn into a kind of a writer that does like more colors rather than linear kinds of things. There are plenty of those, you know, more kind of a concert band kind of way of looking at the jazz band, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's just it. We all come at it completely different, with a different knowledge base in how we play jazz or approach jazz. So that it's all correct, but this is my little way of doing it. And I'll have a lot of other videos for you to look at if you're interested, and let me know if there's something that you want me to show you, and because I'm going to start putting stuff up on YouTube, and then a lot of these videos will be available on TomKubis.com, which you should go to right now, because you can hear a billion of these arrangements that I've done demos for, and also SoundCloud.com. You go Tom Kubis, or SoundCloud.com, Tom Kubis, and there's a billion things there that you can kind of look through. Small horns, 4 horns, 5 horns, 6 horns, and that's that. Okay, well, enough of me talking. I hope you enjoyed this and maybe you learned something. I always do. Bye-bye.